Hello, everyone, and welcome to the preseason for Dynamic Character Productions' second annual long game, Monte Carlo. I am joined here by three of my fellow Exile Island contestants, and today we're going to raise the stakes for this new batch of contestants taking to our game later this week with a fantasy draft. So I have Andrew Denson, Michael Zucker, and Mike Simmons here. Each of them have seen some of the applications for our contestants, so they have a brief idea of what each contestant brings to the table. But first and foremost, gentlemen, hello, welcome. What have you guys been up to since we last saw you on our screens?
All right. Get the most boring over with, I guess. No, I've just been still working pretty hard. Things have been obviously crazy just recently with COVID, so just keeping very busy in the office and just making sure things are going well on that end. Listen, I mean, nothing really crazy. I'm a boring kind of 9 to 5 guy, and I go to work, I come home, and that's about it. So nothing really to fill in the peeps with other than that.
A lot of the same stuff for me, just hanging out. But since our season did finish, I did get on a little bit more of a Survivor kick. I have only seen a couple of seasons when I went into our game. And since then, I've been grinding some of these episodes because, I love the game and, it kind of reignited my enjoyment of Survivor. So I've been grinding through some more of these seasons that I haven't seen yet and enjoying it.
On my end, I was finally able to go back to work this past semester. RPI men's and women's rugby did amazing. I was very proud of them. As far as orgs are concerned, I got to meet a lot of my fellow castmates from Exile Island over the summer, which was amazing. I just recently got back into playing games about 2-3 weeks ago after taking a very long hiatus. I needed to come down emotionally from all the games I played last year. And I'm doing pretty well so far, which means I'm going to get voted out tonight. But it's been a fun ride up to this point. And I'm excited to see what this new cast has to bring to the table.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, thrilled to have you here. Excellent to have all four of us back together on screen once again. This new season of Survivor Monte Carlo is unlike any other season we've done so far. Ian and Morgan are bringing you another fantastically designed game built around this theme of risk reward. So what better way to celebrate it than with a fantasy draft where each of us are going to pick a number of contestants, and throughout the season, we're going to catch up with each other, break down the points, and then at the end, see who managed to accumulate the most from this pool of contestants. Now, there's 4 of us and 17 contestants. So the draft's going to be a little different than most drafts you see. Andrew, Michael, and Mike are each going to select 5 contestants, and I'll be selecting 2 contestants. So we're going to do it in a traditional snake draft order. So they'll go 1, 2, 3, and then descending down 3, 2, 1. Then with that 7th pick, I'll be making a pick worth double the points. And then we'll do that order again. I'll pick that 7th person again worth double the points. And then our 3 guests will be able to select 1 more contestant each. That'll bring us to our grand total of 17. And we'll see what happens in the end. But first, the order. We only thought it was fair that the order be decided by you based on your Exile Island placements. So that means, Andrew, you are going to have the first option. Would you like to pick first, second, or third?
Go first.
All right, so Andrew's picking first. Zucker, you were voted out right after Andrew, so that means you get a pick. Would you like to pick second or third?
I will. I'll go with second. I'll continue the trend.
All right, Simmons, You beat all of us in Exile Island, which means it's only fair. You're picking third. You get that wheel. Without much further ado, Andrew, you're on the clock.
Well, with the first pick, I'm going to stay. This is the only time I'll stay loyal this entire time. But I think that my pick would have done well if given the opportunity to continue in our season. So I'm picking Victoria.
I'm ready to come back this season to redeem myself from season 1, and I'm definitely going to win this time. I believe I have what it takes because I think I'm a low-key challenge and social threat, and I think I'll be able to get to the end of the game without having a huge target on my back. In terms of challenges, I think that I will be able to look at the previous ORGs and get some ideas for challenges that I can practice. And I think I will be able to be decent enough at these challenges, but I don't think I'll ever be considered a challenge threat. This is partially because I don't think I have enough practice with games such as beer pong and flip cup because I didn't play those games enough during my younger years. I also think that I'm a low-key social threat because in my normal life, I'm not the most popular person in any group, but I'm popular with enough people across a lot of different groups. And I think that my ability to get along with different types of people will help me a lot in this game. And I also enjoy yoga and Pilates, which will hopefully help in any challenges involving standing in one position with a stack of solo cups. I'm also into caffeine, and I'm hoping that coffee and tea will help me get through all of the long Zoom sessions I'll have this season. I hope you all enjoy this season, and I hope you all will enjoy me as the winner.
I actually think she has what it takes to take down this game. She's a very, very smart woman, and she seems timid and shy, but once you get through that exterior, she can make inroads in this game very easily.
Yeah, I think she's a solid choice for just knowing her potential, knowing, what she could have had in her game, what kind of left in her arsenal. Just obviously kind of was on the short end of the stick when it came to the swap tribe and kind of just ran out of options. But it'll be exciting to see what kind of game she has with hopefully better luck this game.
And with that, Zucker, it's your pick.
Yes, now it's up to me. So, it's usually obviously very tough to judge people just based off of, a profile pick and just some very basic information about them. But I'm going to go with someone I really don't know anything about, but just got kind of really good vibes from kind of reading up on their bio and just feeling like they're a type of person who is very well versatile in these types of games. And with that, I'm going to go with Shea.
I'm looking forward to playing in Monte Carlo because I am a gamer. As you can see behind me, I have a love of board games. But along with that, my original loves were poker, blackjack. Even in my day, I have rolled the dice on the crap table. And I'm hoping I don't crap out early in this game. What can I say? I love to compete. I love to roll the dice. I love to gamble. But yeah, I'm looking forward to coming to play. I'm looking forward to having a little chance. And, we'll see what happens. You never know. But when the cards are dealt, I'm hoping for me that I come out on top. Well, good luck to everybody, and may the best person win. And hopefully it's me, and I'll be able to, make it a good time for everybody. Cheers, and looking forward to playing with you.
Shea, of course, one of our former contestants from Walamanu Beach, played with our host Morgan in that game. and proved really well until the game got a little too chaotic. It'll be interesting to see how he navigates this game.
It's a good pick. Good pick, Zucker.
I'm also a big Met fan, so I guess the word Shea really just resonated well with me,
Simmons, you get 2 picks now.
I do. I'm so lucky. Reading this list, there's a lot of great variety of players, and I think you could go either way for a lot of them. So my first pick is someone I kind of just think I get a vibe that people are going to flow to this person early in the game and then maybe stick with her. I'm going to go with Julia Dworkin, I think it is.
And I really can't believe it. I'm finally going to be able to play my version of Survivor. I thought it would be in the jungle, surviving the elements, heat, mosquitoes, sleep deprivation, annoying personalities. But now I'm just trying to survive the freezing cold of New York winters, city vermin, my job, my apartment, the needs of families, a boyfriend, friends, and I guess therefore more sleep deprivation and varied personalities. So, I guess what I thought would be super different on an island, I guess is pretty much similar, but just I guess a difficult or different physical setting. Maybe more of the same. Survivor is really, in my view, the perfect depiction, though, of the world's force and just your life experiences. It's extreme, it's compressed, it's just a version of your real life politics, compressed. So, between my knowledge and love of games, this game, and just the enjoyment of meeting and interacting with people, and generally being pretty adaptable, I think I thrive at playing the game of Survivor. So excited to try to outwit, outlast, outplay the rest, and excited to meet you all.
I just have a vibe that people are going to kind of flow to her, and she's going to have a good social game. I know it says Parvati is one of her favorite players or someone she relates to. So that's kind of something I look forward to, maybe competing well in challenges and being able to be good at the social part of the game. So that's going to be my first pick. And my second pick, I am going to go with Kyle Durrett.
I've only played in one org before this, and it was a mini. So this is my first long game. But even though it's only my second game, I feel like I know so much more going into this one than I did my first time. And one of those things is being more observant when it comes to idle clues. I was painfully oblivious to idle clues my first time. So that is something I'm going to make a conscious effort of this time. I'm going to be looking for anything and everything that I think could be related to some type of idle or an advantage, because I want to make sure that I get my hands on that. Another strategy of mine is trying not to be scared of getting voted out. As the saying goes, scared money doesn't usually make money. So if you're constantly scared the whole time about being voted out, you're probably not going to be assertive enough. And I think you do need some level of fearlessness in this game in order to be successful.
It just seems like he knows the game. He likes to play a little bit of both sides. I think he can mesh pretty well and hopefully stay on the right side of the votes. And I think he's going to be a pretty solid player for this season.
Durrett, also another Dynamic Character Productions alumni. He has played one of our games before. He's demonstrated his ability to go far in a game. It's going to be really interesting to see how he translates his mini game into his long game. All right, Zucker, who you got for the second pick?
Back to me. So, kind of same thought process, same principle of how I was kind of like basing my first impressions on people, but more so for this person, really understanding, from what they said, they've played many of these types of games before, have done also fairly well with a lot of them, and just kind of gave me like good vibes in terms of like he has this killer instinct to, kind of make that big move, not be hesitant or afraid to go for that, decision that might, be a tough call for a lot of people. Plus, this person kind of gave me Dom Abate vibes in terms of not just his personality, but his physical looks. And with that, I'm going to go with Jonathan Oliveira.
I have won a few. I have never gone pre-merge. I usually place, top 6, 3, 6, something along those lines. And I am very selective with the orgs that I play, because when you've won a couple, you want to try something maybe a little different. With this one in particular, everyone seems really invested in it, which I really enjoyed, as well as the fact that everything is happening live, essentially. And I have 3 animals. I have a dog, 2 cats. I guarantee you they will ruin some of the live challenges for me because that's how it goes. I like to play a different game every time that I play. It's sometimes very under the radar, and then, you know, build your resume kind of at the end. It is sometimes super loyal and stick to an alliance that will get you farther. I think if you're not willing to adjust, pivot, you know, go wherever which way it may take you to get you to the next round, then you're potentially limiting your gameplay and what you could do. So I like to say that I'm willing to be super loyal, and also I'm willing to cut anybody if I need to. You should trust me, but at the same time, if we make it and we're right down at the end, I don't know, I want that win. I'm very competitive, and so I will do what I need to do in order to get there.
Jonathan does definitely bring that experience into the game that quite a few of our cast members do. They've played previous orgs. Obviously, they've never played an org like this one, but his willingness to get in the game and wanting to just take his experience and translate it to this is always a good thing to have.
I'm disappointed.
All right, Mr. Denson.
Off my list.
He was the top one for you, Mike?
He was on my list. I'm not going to say where he was, but he was on my list.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, Andrew,
Well,
I know you have a wheel
safe.
here. I know you have
My
a
list
wheel
is
here,
safe.
but you have to take one because I get that next one after you. Then you can go back to that second pick.
My list is safe. The next person I wanted is there. When I was reading her profile, everything that I read is something that I would say in an application that I probably have said in an application, especially when it comes to significant other in relationships, in which she said single, but actively going on one date with multiple people and then never speaking to them again. But it's usually like me on the other side of that, which is fine. Like it's not an issue. So I'm going to go with McKenna.
I am so excited to play Virtual Survivor. I grew up watching Survivor. I grew up watching like all those kinds of shows, The Amazing Race, Big Brother, and it's translated into a love for it as an adult. I am excited to use my social game, which I think would have been my strongest suit in real life Survivor. Someone once told me that I had a very approachable face and a face that you could tell anything to. I'm still trying to figure out if that was a compliment, but I think I will use it to my advantage in this format. Things that I am glad aren't happening, or at least I don't think are happening, are like eating the gross stuff and strong physical competitions. I have a super weak stomach and super weak arms. I think that relationship building is key to everything, and I've always been a strong relationship builder, working in the sport world, working in the golf world, being a woman. I've always had to really sell myself and sell my skills. I think that'll come in handy. I also think that my downfall will be that I can't lie. I'm a bad liar. I think the best of everybody, and I want to trust everyone. So that's something I have to work on, and knowing that not everyone's in my corner.
I get great vibes from just reading her profile, and she comes from the Bad Bitch Book Club, which somebody else from our cast was on and also ran. So I feel like she could do very well going into this game. At least I hope so. I wouldn't have drafted that high if I didn't think so.
Well, the Bad Bitch Book Club has definitely provided us with some incredible players and characters so far, and it's really fantastic that we still keep getting people from it, thanks to Mackenzie and Lilly, and just pumping us up as a production company so that they all are as excited as we are for these games. McKenna seems like a very solid pick.
Great.
Now, you guys need to know, there's no way I was letting my boy Connor Clark get past me.
Hello, my name is Connor Clark. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. If you don't know who I am, it's because you haven't seen DCP's Survivor Exile Island. It's on YouTube, and I suggest you go and do it right now, because otherwise it's going to be spoiled for you. Anyways, I am still a high school student. I'm 17, and interestingly enough, I'm aspiring to play poker professionally within 2 weeks of the end of the season, provided that I'm still there or not. I've been studying very, very hard for the past, since the beginning of COVID. I've been playing a lot, and I hope to play professionally, which is very fitting for the theme. I also have been, going to the gym a lot, so that will help me in no, it won't help me at all. As well as playing a lot of music. I have my piano over here. It's off, so I just hit it a bunch of times. Okay, now into the good stuff, into the strategy portion. Last time I played Survivor, I did not do too well. I was voted out 5th amongst a cast of 16, which is bottom 1/3. And I don't want that to happen again. How will I change? I will play less crazy and take less huge risks. Last time I played, it was more about the experience of being on Survivor, the reality show experience, getting to play the game that I've wanted to play for so long. And I thought it might be the only time that I ever play. So I wanted to do everything, or I wanted it to encapsulate everything I needed to have done on the show. So I did some crazy things. I volunteered for Exile Island. It didn't go too well. It caused a lot of distrust, and it's probably what ultimately got me voted out. This time around, I'm going to play very calculated. I'm going to make the decisions which I think are in my best interest at all times. Doesn't mean I'm not going to take risks. It just means that when I do, it's going to be calculated and not because of the fact that it's just something that I want to do. I'm out to win this time. I'm not out to have fun. I'm not here to have fun. Although, I'm here to have fun. It's the main reason I'm here. But I really want to win this time, and I'll do whatever it takes.
That, man, is hilarious. I'm very much banking on some confessional points with Connor here. But I also think he's going to take the experience from playing Exile Island. He played with all of us, got to speak with us. I think he's going to come in. He's not going to have that frantic energy he had during our game, and instead he's going to come out strong. He's going to be a little more strategic. He is the youngest player on the cast, but I think he can absolutely use that to his advantage to go incredibly far in this game.
I'm pissed at you, John. He was my next one I was going to go for. I was like, you guys are going to underestimate him. You're going to let him just go unchosen. I'm like, he's got the potential. I worked with him closely on Exile, and I know what he can bring to the table. And he was that close to making the merge. And, as far as I'm concerned, once you make the merge, a lot of doors open. So I was hoping he was going to be on when I was next up to choose, but wasn't meant to be.
Connor was my next pick too, so you screwed
All right, so it wouldn't have mattered.
He was not my next pick only because I still don't trust him. Love you, Connor.
All right, Andrew, I staked Connor from you. Who do you have instead?
All right, so didn't want to do this. It's a personal bias. I've never met the person before, but he seems amazing. But as the head coach of RPI Rugby, our main villains are Siena College, and this next guy graduated from Siena College, but it seems like he's got his life in order. He seems like he did well in the pandemic. He got a boyfriend out of it, so more props to him. I couldn't do that, so I'm going to go with Andrew.
My 3 favorite things are Bud Light, chicken nuggets, and Survivor, so this is going to be a blast. Mainly because I know that I'm going to win, and I'm not just saying that, I know that I'm going to win. I am a people person to my core. In high school, I was prom king, so I was able to kind of mesh with different social circles and make everybody like me, even if I necessarily didn't like them, and I didn't like most of them, to be honest with you. But then professionally, my entire career, my job is I'm a wedding planner. So I've dealt with bridezillas like you can't imagine, crazy moms, bar mitzvah kids, funerals, anything you can think of, any difficult personality I have dealt with and managed. So I have no doubt that I can outwit, outsmart, and outplay a bunch of regular folks. But yeah, I'm really excited to get in there, mainly because I'm direct. I'm very blunt and straightforward. So if I don't like somebody, they'll know it. If I do like somebody, they will also know it. And I think that's a great asset to have. If people know where they stand with me, then it makes it simpler and easier for them to kind of decide if they want to work with me or not. I have no problem calling people out. It's not something I shy away from. It's something that I do in my professional job. So why not do it here? It's going to be a great season. I'm really excited to play, and I hope you all enjoy watching.
And he has my name, so come on.
Yeah, Andrew is another contestant, vicariously this time brought to us by the Bad Bitch Book Club. But what he seems to bring is an absolute love for the game. And that can't be underestimated going into this. We've had a lot of success from a wide array of people with experience with Survivor, from the casual fans to the people who have seen like 1 or 2 episodes, all the way to people who have rewatched every episode multiple times. But it's that love for the game that can really drive you through the game. And that is absolutely what Andrew's bringing to the table here.
All right. As for my next pick, what I have kind of written down for this person is that on paper, she seems very interesting. First impressions are that she, number one, be able to commit a lot of time into the game, which is hugely important, something that I very much underestimated and was a big downfall in my game. So that's, a big plus there. But not only that, it's just someone that I think would be able to know when it's best to kind of hide in the shadows and then strike when necessary. Not always being, again, that kind of person in control, always on people's minds. So that ability to kind of blend in. And then when basically the credit is worth, kind of putting yourself out there to take, knowing when to do that. And last bit is that she says she is 2 for 2 in orgs, which is, as far as I'm concerned, as good as you can do in these games. So long story short, my next pick is Kiley Kelly.
So the reason that I am going to win this season of Survivor Monte Carlo is because I'm going to use my Southern charm to make everyone think that I am just so sweet and innocent. But the truth is, I am a villain. And so I'm going to just get people to trust me. But when it comes time to really make some moves, I have no problem stabbing people in the back. I like to find one person I can be really, really close to, but very, very devious with. And so if I can find my match out there for someone that likes to play similar to me, I can be loyal to that person, but I just really like to use my social skills to pit people against each other and hopefully to just cause a little bit of chaos, but, just keep up my sweet little, motherly role and never let people know what's coming. And then at the end, they're like, oh shit, look what she's been doing this whole time.
All right. So
2 more, Simmons, 2 more.
It gets tough. And I think I'm going to go with someone who, reading their bio and stuff, it feels, they say they're very logical. They think through things, which could be good and, could be bad. But to me, it almost feels like a safe pick, if there is one. I'm going to go with my favorite non-rapper, non-actor, Nick Cannon.
Hi, Nick Cannon here to tell you why I'm going to win Survivor Monte Carlo. I'm going to be an incredibly strategic, thoughtful, well-played player. I'm going to be a challenge beast. I'm going to be winning those competitions. I'm going to be surviving tribal councils. I'm going to be backstabbing. I'm going to be making alliances, making friendships, and withering my way to the end. I think what I do very well is being very strategic, understanding where relationships are, what's going on in the background, understanding kind of all the nuances in the Survivor game. I work in tech strategy here in Seattle, and so part of my role is positioning my company well, understanding what my competitors are doing, understanding what I'm doing well, where I need to go, and what needs to happen to make things happen. And I'm going to do that in the Survivor game.
I like the the bio and stuff like that. I think he could do well. But he also said he's a challenge beast. So anybody who says that, I'm immediately going to mark that down. So hopefully he can win a couple challenges, because I like the challenge part of that, the game. So I'm rooting for Nick on that. My next pick, I would consider a little more dangerous, a little more spontaneous, because I have no idea what this person's going to bring. So hopefully I'm going to go the John aspect, and maybe he'll get me a lot of points. I'm going to go with Michael Reick.
The reason I decided to play this game is because I've heard that it's a really realistic game. It's a lot like the real Survivor game, and I mean, you can't beat that. I've always wanted to go on that island and, you know, show what I got, and I'm going to do the same thing in this game. A little bit about me. Right now I'm unemployed. I am starting school again. I want to be a teacher. We'll see how that goes. But the way that I play the game is chaotic, to say the least. In the last game that I was in, I actually won the award for most chaotic player, and I take pride in that. A lot of players, they don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want people being mad at them, or people, you know, having their name in their brain. But for me, I want to be a big part of every game I'm in. I don't want people to forget me, and I want to win. That's the main goal. But if I have to get my hands dirty, I'm going to do it. I hate complacency. I hate when people are content. I like to shake things up. I don't want anybody thinking they're safe at any moment of the game. And in turn, that makes me feel unsafe the entire game. But if everybody else feels unsafe, I'm fine with feeling unsafe. Because you should never feel safe in this game to begin with.
He said he's going to play this game a little cutthroat, a little wild at times, and that could be good and bad. I'm hoping he's going to be a good character to follow, and he said he can sell things to anybody. So I'm hoping that he can continue to do that throughout the game, and at least if he runs himself out of the game, he'll at least give me some points before that.
So for my fourth pick, I kind of saw a lot of myself and a lot of what I had wanted to kind of bring to the game in this next person. I feel like this person is basically, he's got like the three tenets, you know, kind of the social, the physical, and the strategic. Maybe wouldn't be viewed as like the top threat in either category, but would certainly be at the very least like a middle of the road person, which is frankly, especially early on, where you want to be. As far as I'm concerned, you know, you don't want to stand out too much in any regard. I think physically he'd be able to hold his own well in the challenges, not be viewed as that top physical threat. And then socially and strategically kind of, again, be able to blend well and be in multiple alliances and kind of make the right decision for him when that time came. So my fourth pick is, and lastly is also shares my name, no less, but Michael Reilly is my fourth pick.
Why will I win Survivor Monte Carlo? Because I hope I will. Good confidence, right? Oh God. I mean, I think I'm pretty good at comps based off season 4 mini. That's the Hera Tunes, which will be finished airing by then. Everyone will see that. I did pretty well, I think. Yeah, I do well in comps. I like to think that I'm adept enough socially. A bit awkward, but like it's fine. And yeah, I think that I can and I think I'm like smart enough to like strategize my way to the end. So that should help. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll see. I think a lot of people kind of depends on the cast. We'll see how I can play through that. Whether I can just be like a mellow dude in the back who everyone may or may not think is hot. I'm not, but I get that a lot. So I just love a good competition. And hopefully I'll win this one. Fingers crossed. Second time's the charm in my case, maybe. I don't know. But we shall see.
Michael Reilly coming at us for another Dynamic Character Productions game. We have just seen him participate in Sahara Dunes, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he takes going from a mini that's airing at the same time our long game is filming and seeing how he adjusts his game moving forward. Andrew, would you please do the honors?
All right. Well, sticking with picking people who I would have some sort of fun vendetta against. My next person went to USC. As a big-time UCLA fan, that's a no-go. This person is from and or lives in Texas, which not a big fan of Texas, but fine, whatever. No offense to any Texans out there. But once again, because she comes from the Bad Bitch Book Club, I feel like she could easily work her way into some groups early on. I'm going to assume that she's very relatable. Even though her profile wasn't the most, let's go with,
extensive.
There wasn't a lot there. Yeah. There wasn't a lot there. But what I got from it was, I feel like she could easily just get in and work her way to the merge. And once, as we all know, some more than others, once you hit the merge, chaos ensues, and you can just, if you can find your way, you could be sitting at the final three or, wherever else. So I'm going with Margaret.
I'm one of those people who drinks cold brew. They should probably drink water. And, when we first meet, I am going to ask you what your big three astrology signs are. That probably says a lot about me, Honestly, I am super excited for Survivor Monte Carlo, because I think Monte Carlo and I'm like, ooh, glamorous, gambling and high stakes. That'll be fun. And then of course, I'm actually nervous about the actual high stakes part of Survivor, because I think I'll be good at alliances as far as like trying to make friends with people, and hopefully people think I'm like fun and free. Sound like an Instagram motto. On someone's page, I don't know. But as far as like maybe being like the mastermind of who outranks who's gonna backstab first, I don't think I would be the backstabbing first, which maybe is good in the beginning, but if I make it to further along, I don't know. We'll see. But I like to think I'm a great listener, so I think I can have the pulse, so to speak.
That's my dark horse.
Yeah, I think Margaret has a lot of potential. She exudes character in her limited responses, but definitely also seems tactical in her responses. And I think the combination of that with the tenacity she seems to have will really help propel her in this game. And now I get my second pick, who will also be getting me double points. And with that, I am going to pick Micah Johnson.
And here are some reasons why I will be the winner of Survivor Monte Carlo. One, I am approachable. I have that Minnesota nice stereotype to me, where I'm caring, wanting to get to know you, and very friendly with you, and able to work with you as well, where I can work that up and then eventually cut them when I need to. Two, I'm very athletic. I've done sports all my life. I've run countless marathons. I've done cross-country ski marathons. I still ski to this day. I run every summer. I do biking now, and I've done dance, so I'm well with balance. I can hold my own in competitions, and when I need to, I will pull out the W.
First off, wins me over with the Charlie Herschel reference in their application. Anyone who's willing to name Charlie from Gabon as their favorite non-winner automatically wins in my book. But Micah seems like a very personable person. And again, we've emphasized many times how the social game is so important in this long game. I think Micah has that capability, but also seems to be really deterministic in how they're approaching the game, and seems to understand the game well enough to know where their place will be as they progress through it.
It's a good pick, John.
Thank you. Well, three contestants left on the board. Andrew, who are you taking with your final pick?
All right, so as we all know, sometimes the org community cannot be kind to a lot of us. And when I was reading this next person's profile, it seemed like it hadn't been kind to them. They're coming back to try it again. I'm excited. Read through his profile. He loves Ethan. I think that Ethan is one of the greats of all time. I'm going with Parker as my last pick.
I'm really happy I'm getting to play this game for, well, other than the fact that I like Survivor, definitely a bit too much. I was going to say probably, but no, definitely. The other main reason I'm happy I'm getting to play this game is, well, for lack of a better term, I hate the cold. And since it's wintertime, this will give me a great reason not have to go outside hardly ever, because it's freezing. I know I'm going to win this game because I'm going to make these other players think that I am the most average possible person that could be playing this game. What do I mean by that? I firmly believe that the quote-unquote average people will favor the best at the beginning of this game. The people who aren't the best storytellers, but aren't the worst. The people who are not the funniest, but not the least funniest. The people who aren't the most charming, but aren't the least charming. These type of average players are deemed as unthreatening. They're going to be pulled into alliances because of that, and that gives them options. So in the beginning, I want to play it cool and be average, for lack of a better term. Now, once I form interpersonal relationships with everybody on my tribe, then they'll see, oh, there's more to this guy than he's letting on, which is fine. That's what I want them to think. I want them to see me as trustworthy and likable, but not enough of a threat to where they need to take me out anytime soon, and they want to work with me for the foreseeable future. In the beginning of this game, I need people to not be worried about me, and I need them to underestimate me. Because once you're underestimated, that's the worst thing you can do in this game, because then you've taken that person off your radar, and that's the person I'm going to be. I'm going to swoop in when they least expect it, and I'm going to take the win. Can I do it? I know I can.
Because if he plays like Ethan, we can only hope that he can convince people not to play this weird new school thing that people do nowadays for the last 10 years of big moves and all that. I feel like if Parker can go in there and play like Ethan, it'd be a winner that I could be proud of.
Absolutely. Parker also brings another winning trait to the game, having been a theater major for some time, just like the winner of Exile Island, Alex Cousins. So it'll be interesting to see how their games relate, both kind of having that similar experience and then bringing it to the org.
Hi, Alex.
For my next pick, I'm going to go with someone that I feel like is has the potential to really do well, and by that what I mean, it seems very confident in their abilities to and trust their abilities to become well ingratiated with kind of any tribe setting and just kind of attack the game with full force. So it is a bit of a risky pick, but also I don't have a ton of options left. Not that that's a bad thing, but I think this person is someone that I would have, put really highly on my list anyway, even if they weren't towards the bottom of this draft. So this person, like I said, has a really kind of eager attitude, and that's, I think, very important for this kind of a game. And even though they're, maybe not experienced in life so much, I feel like brings a lot of Survivor experience in terms of their knowledge and their wherewithal with how the game, should be played. So with that, I'm going to go with Elijah for my next pick.
I am so excited for the game. I've been associated with Dynamic Character Productions, and ever since I've been hooked on everything they've put out. I've watched all their orgs, and I'm a very big fan, so it's great for me to be here. And I feel like I have a really good shot to win this because I feel like I am the most well-studied Castaway by a long shot. My main goal, besides of course having fun and of course winning, is to try to innovate in the strategy department and make moves that are big moves but aren't necessarily seen as big moves. and I hope you guys will enjoy me playing, and I will be looking forward to playing the game.
Yeah, if there's one thing Elijah definitely brings to the game, it's Survivor knowledge. Elijah has competed on many of our trivia shows and definitely has demonstrated that they know their stuff when it comes to Survivor. He is young, not the youngest on the cast, but he's pretty similar in age to Connor, which I think might give him a bit of an advantage because when Connor played with us, he was significantly younger than everyone on the cast. But I think having another person of a similar age there could be really beneficial to the two of them. Well, Simmons, you have one pick left. One person left on the board. Please have the honors.
I hope I'm not wrong and this person wasn't already picked, because I don't know if I've been checking off my list correctly, but I think it's Will, right?
That is correct.
Why am I going to win Survivor Monte Carlo? I think, to put it simply, I'm a sociable guy. I think for the most part, I'm a likable person. I can relate with most anyone, talk to a wall, essentially. I enjoy people. I also think I'm a very strategic person. I love board games, puzzles, just anything that involves some sort of strategic ability. I think I'm really good at that aspect, and I'm honestly a trustworthy person. So I know trust goes a long way in Survivor. Obviously, this is my first time doing something like this, so it'll be interesting to see how I can formulate kind of a game plan and build rapport with people and earn people's trust and go hopefully far in this game and ultimately win it.
And the best thing about that is he's on my original list of players that I wanted. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. The two things that stand out to me in his application is he has a green thumb, and he was introduced to this application by Greg Langstine. So if you watched our season with Exile Island, that you know Greg very well. So I'm hoping that he can play maybe similar to Greg. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a steal. Last pick in the draft. When I remember in our season, I was a pretty low pick, second to last. I'm not counting, but hey, I remember. So I'm hoping this is another dark horse and he'll take me pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any duds on this season. Every single one of these people have the potential to make it to the end. And what I really hope happens to Will is just different than what happened to the Will that played on our season, because we don't really want Will going home first as that last pick. But he does seem to have a good knowledge of the game, that connection with Greg Langstine, who is a phenomenal player. So if he personally knows Greg and speaks to Greg about what to expect going into this game, he could really have a leg up on the competition.
Absolutely.
There you have it. The draft's concluded. Let's just run down these teams again. Andrew has Victoria, McKenna, Andrew, Margaret, and Parker. Michael Zucker has Shea, Jonathan, Kiley, Michael Reilly, and Elijah. Mike Simmons has Julia, Kyle, Nick Cannon, Michael Reick, and Will. And I have Connor and Micah hopefully taking me to that win with their double points, even though 2 times 2 is only 4 and you guys each have 5 people. It's okay. I'm not complaining. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We are always happy to have you here at Dynamic Character Productions. Tune in to Survivor Monte Carlo. Upcoming, released every Monday and Thursday for your main episodes, with additional content released throughout the week. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
I look forward to beating you guys again.
We'll see. We'll see.
How humble. He's adorable.
I'm competitive, Andrew. You know that.